Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the guardian of chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Same day coverage, live to tape for show number 34 here in the IWC Chaos Corner, 16 feet below the surface of the earth, down here in the bunker. Now, fans, on this episode, I will put it up later on today. It will be same day coverage. We'll be talking AEW Dynamite. We're going to be talking the pay-per-view this week of Impact. We're going to be talking the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling pay-per-view. We're going to run over NXT TakeOver coming up this weekend. We have an action-packed show. Now, don't go anywhere. And of course, follow my boys over at the show at Mario_Chaos. And if you're not following them for branding and whatever it is that you're trying to do to put yourself over, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm telling you, I follow them. And I'll say that to say this. Follow me on all social media platforms, and you know what they are. Obviously, right now on Twitter. We're going to bounce over to YouTube. We're on Rumble. We're on Parler, and it will be back. We're on Gab, my #1 platform. I've discovered I have a lot of fans over there. And, of course, on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me at Big Daddy G.O.C. And the G.O.C. stands for the Guardian of Chaos, or at G.O.C. Big Daddy. Either way, stay here for show number 34. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be full of a lot of different information from all the top organizations. And again, this weekend is going to be an unbelievable weekend, whether it be Impact, NXT, PAPW. You're not going to want to miss it, fans. We even have a crowd down here at the bunker, and I broke out the Big Daddy hockey regalia. Fans, don't go anywhere. I implore you, stay here. We're going over to YouTube. Don't you dare miss it. Fans, welcome back. We just got over off the insanity and the craziness of the Twitter universe. Back here for show number 34. We're going to calm down. We're going to settle in. We're going to settle down now that we got off of probably the most active platform that I am on, and that would be Twitter, just because it's far-reaching and how many different people over there that I enjoy their content that I follow and they follow me. But as I said, Twitch is up and running. You can hop on board early over there. Really don't know what the hell I'm doing yet on Twitch. I'm not really a gamer, but go over and check me out at Twitch. I'm certainly very active now over on Gab, the social media platform. And if you want your freedom of speech, your amended rights, and just a different platform in general, Gab is the place to go. Of course, on YouTube, which we're expanding by leaps and bounds. We're having more subscribers and viewers coming on, and we're checking out the analytics, and things are going fantastic. It's a slow roll here on YouTube, but we're going to do it either way. Instagram is picking up on action, gaining a lot of followers, a lot of interesting content being posted over at Big Daddy GOC on Instagram. And of course, I'm on Facebook as the Guardian of Chaos, but that's strictly a social media platform to put over and to watch and to turn all my fans and advisors and family and mentors and friends over to the WWAB, and that's Wrestling with Anything But, because it's on 7 days a week on Facebook. You're not going to want to believe it. Well, you are going to want to believe it, but you get the gist. Not only on Facebook Live 7 days a week, they're also on Twitch. They're going to be on Patreon. They're sponsored right now by Right Guard. And don't get me going crazy on Right Guard, because I'll tell you, everyone keeps talking about it. Avi Klein, everyone over at Wrestling with Anything But. And we're going to review that right here in a minute. But they're always talking about Right Guard. That's right. You see that I have my Right Guard, the Right Guard Sport. And I'm not looking for a sponsor. I think I said that on show number 33. The only sponsor that I have, and it's out of love and out of friendship, and because it helps me get through these shows, that would be my buddy Mr. Hempel-Stilskin over at sweetheal.com. That's right, for all your CBD needs, sweetheal.com, Sweet Heal CBD, whether it be balms, tinctures, lotions, candies, edibles, legally licensed, locally owned, locally grown here in the Constitution State. And what's going on in this country, you're going to need something like the Constitution State. New website is out there, new promotions. And speaking of promotions, If you use the promo code CHAOS, you're going to get 25% off. And with the way that things are running in this country, you're going to need that 25%. I've said it on several episodes, and I've said it on several shows, and I've been saying it for years. I don't go a day without using Sweet Heel. As we speak, my left knee, my right shoulder, the lower back. I use it on the upper deltoids, the trapezius, the latissimus dorsi, the lower back, the third vertebrae, the lower lumbar region. You understand what I'm talking about. So visit my boy, Mr. Hempelstiltskin. And of course, for all your CBD wellness needs, which is the wave of the future, go over to sweetheal.com, Sweet Heal CBD and sweetheal.com. You're not going to want to miss it. Again, support your local businesses. But let me get back to what I was talking about, because I originally was talking about Right Guard, who I have no sponsorship with. But just going by what Avi Klein says on 7 days a week, wrestling with anything but. Let's run it down before we get into what we're going to talk about here on show number 34, which is a lot of great news. Mondays, Avi Klein has his review show. Now, he has different people on, different guests, different people that are involved in the different programs that are on 7 days a week. But now the new announcement is J.C. Farina. That's right, J.C. Farina will be on Mondays with Avi Klein along with the review show. That's Monday nights live on Facebook. Tuesdays, he has the double dip, and that's at noontime with Glacier Ray Lloyd, the unbelievable actor and former grappler. What an incredible guy. He's saving lives. Glacier Ray Lloyd, and that would be Breaking the Ice with Avi Klein on Tuesdays at noon. The double dip that day, 5:30. I believe it's 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Bill DeMott, the former WCW grappler Hugh Morris, the monster, the MTV Tough Enough trainer, the WWE star, Hugh Morris, a.k.a. Bill DeMott, and of course what he stands for in saving lives, along with law enforcement, the Carrie Ann DeMott Foundation. Go to the Carrie Ann DeMott Foundation. Go to Wrestling with Anything But. Go to the Facebook Live. Go to Face Value with Bill DeMott on Tuesdays at 5:30, and you'll understand what I'm talking about and the importance of the Carrie Ann DeMott Foundation. So that's Face Value, Bill DeMott, Avi Klein on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, there's the head trainer from Paradise Alley, former Four Horsemen, Power and Glory, Pretty Wonderful, and that would be Pretty Paul Roma, and his show at 7 p.m. with Avi Klein, Maintaining the Truth. And if there's anybody that maintains the truth, it's Paul Roma, a legit badass. What an incredible show. He usually has a segment to first responders, to patriots. Unbelievable. Wednesdays, 7 p.m., Maintaining the Truth. Paul Roma and Avi Klein. Thursdays, perhaps the coolest, most laid-back show in podcast history, and certainly on the WWAB network, and that would be Aloha and Mahalo to Don Morocco and Making Waves with Avi Klein every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noontime Hawaii. Or it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and noontime Aloha time. And you know what I always say? Peha oi melehini kane. Mahalo. Don Morocco, Making Waves every Thursday. And then there's Friday with Mike Duke, the Dumpster Drosy, the former WWE star who is now with Road to Recovery, saving lives, the most legit man, and one funny SOB. Fridays at 6 o'clock with Avi Klein. Road to Recovery with Mike Duke, the Dumpster Drosy. What a guy who's saving lives. And let's face it, along with Roma, along with DeMott, along with Glacier, along with Don Morocco, Duke the Dumpster Drosy tells it like it is. And then, of course, there's Sunday with another unbelievable grappler and, of course, a college All-American and then a star in WWE, WCW, and All Japan, and that would be the Patriot Del Wilkes, who talks everything from reality to politics to sports to All Japan to football. And he is on Sundays at 8 o'clock with Avi Klein for Unmasking the Truth. Don't you like that? Unmasking the Truth. Because that's what Del Wilkes does. He unmasks the truth with Avi Klein every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And of course, we have a little glitch, a little minor something. So that goes along with what I'm talking about next, which is on Saturdays on WWAB. Anywhere from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock for all you late nighters and you late show people. And that would be The Green Room with Avi Klein, who's trying to find a host, whether it be Howard Collado, David Holliday, or Mickey Doyle, the legendary grappler from the 70s and 80s. We don't know. They're in the middle of a trial. They're coming up on the end of the trial to see who's going to be the host of the Green Room. And that is Saturday with a whole bunch of lunacy. They have everybody on there from Judge Mike Duke to Dumpster Drosy. They've brought in key witnesses and lead prosecutor Mario Mancini. They've brought in Paul Roma. They've brought in Bill DeMott. They've brought in Del Wilkes. They've brought in Don Morocco. And, of course, the breaking news coming across my trending line, as I say all the time, my timeline, also on WWAB. Along with the holiday, the holiday trial, which will be ending in a couple of weeks. David Holliday. Ken Patera is now on the platform. That's right. Olympic strongman, former WWE, WWF star Ken Patera. This reminds me of all the vignettes and what Patera used to do, holding the chains and picking up that pickup truck and holding it with his legs and pushing back as they spun the wheels. To remember Ken Patera, the Olympic strongman who represented this country? He is now a part of Avi Klein and WWAB. I wanted to break that and throw that out there that came across the timeline. So now that's another person added to the podcast 7 days a week, at least a couple of hours live a night, a day. Where else do you get that? Not Joe Rogan, not Conrad Thompson. I'm not bashing anybody else. They all have great platforms, and there's a lot of good things going on there. Hannibal TV, there's a lot of great things. Of course, the number one guy, JD from New York, there's a lot of great things going on out there in the podcast world. But what WWAB is doing, wrestling with anything but. Do you get it? Wrestling with anything but. What they're doing over there and what Avi Klein's doing is really something. And it's all on Facebook, and it's all these wrestlers and grapplers and personalities, but it's wrestling with anything but. There's game show, there's trivia, there's honors, there's regular people. It's interactive. The chat room is unbelievable. Coming up on almost 3 million viewers. That's right. 3 million viewers in 7 months. They started July 6th. Last year, July 6th, 2020. And now here we are in 2021. Wait, that's right, 6 months. Do the math. Well, listen, I failed math. I had to take non-credit math in college. That's right, I'm a university man. That's right, no one who knew. But I had to take non-credit math before. I figured it out once I started getting paid. But anyway, that's another story for another time. So I wanted to talk about wrestling with anything but, tell you about Ken Patera, tell you about J.C. Farina, all the grapplers and what's going on over there. I watch it 7 days a week, okay? You want to talk about 24/7. And then I know one of the NBA guys started 25/8. Well, over there at WWAB with Avi Klein, it's 26/9. You get it, 26 hours a day, 9 days a week. So thanks for being here for Chaos Corner. We're going to amp up some music. We're going to take a break. I'm going to get my notes together. We're coming up on less than 15 minutes in. Same day coverage, live to tape. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to get all that out of the way and the important things before I get on to what we're going to talk about. Stand by. Hold on. We've got a little bit of time to kill. Hold on, baby. Hold on. First, let me get something going here. You know how I am with at least having something to distract us with. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to look at Solar. I'm ready down here in the bunker. You know that, right? So stay here. Stay tuned. Let me put a little music on. I know. I get it. I understand. I'm always getting heckled. I would have been a hell of a stand-up comic. I tried it a couple of times. I mean, I'm no scumbag Vinny, but he is a scumbag. You know that, right? Vinny Beetle. He's a scumbag. But I've gotten up there a couple of times. I mean, I've seen, God rest his soul, Luscious Johnny Valiant before. I know Pete Pappas at one time, the ring announcer, was an excellent comedian. I've seen, obviously, Andrew Dice Clay live, Amy Schumer, a whole bunch of people. So I do like that. It's not easy. All right, let's get some music back rolling on here. We're back. Look, we're not even 15 minutes in, so how long did that take to get to crank the Solar? It's not that distracting, is it? Looking pretty good, Chaos. A lot of things to cover. AEW Dynamite, Impact, the pay-per-views this weekend, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. We're going to briefly run through everything. NXT TakeOver, 15 minutes in. Cheers. And that's true. Yesterday's gone, so hold on to your faith and family. Walk with Jesus. Stay positive. Let me throw that out there. And with that being said, whenever I do that, one chain disappears here at Chaos Corner. You see how easy that is? You gotta love life. Chaos Corner show number 34 with your old buddy. It's me. It's the G.O.C. Let's get down to the task at hand. The first 15-minute monologue. Thanks for everybody for being here. We're going to start off with some AEW Dynamite. We'll lower the distraction. We'll quickly run over the different things. There was a AEW Dynamite last night was all over the place. Very, very entertaining. I DVR'd through a lot of it, fast-forwarded through a lot of it. So I'm going to give you my take without going too in-depth to report the information. You watched it. You saw the analytics. You're here for what I'm putting out there, how I'm going to break it down. So this is what we're going to go through so we can get everything into this show. We don't want to go over an hour, do we? I don't think we do. The lighting has been changed and moved. Okay? We have different things that we have moved around to try to get the... Yeah, I know. Move on. Last night, Thunder Rosa over legit Layla Hirsch. Now, again, where is Thunder Rosa going to go? Where is she going to be? Is she going to commit to AEW? Is she under contract? Is she still working with Billy and NWA? Where is it going with Thunder Rosa? That's what a lot of fans keep emailing me and DM me and asking certain questions. And I know you people want to know this. I want to know this. Thunder Rosa could be one of the best female grapplers in the world. And she's just bouncing around, showing up, not showing up, doing her own thing. Really legit Layla Hirsch. So it was the women's eliminator tournament. Rosa did hit her with the Michinoku driver. So that was something. And just Thunder Rosa is an incredible talent. Me personally, the only thing I want to know, she belongs. She's legit. Where is she going to go? Is she going to end up staying in AEW? Is she going to bounce over to Impact? Is she going to sign with the WWE? Is NWA and Billy ever coming back? So I wanted to start off with that with AEW Dynamite. What I did take out of there last night, I did like the bar scene. Big money, Matt Hardy. Let's say this about Matt Hardy. And I know I'm diving right into it and starting off with AEW Dynamite because Hardy's also going to be on Impact. This guy keeps reinventing himself. He's got different characters. He constantly has longevity. That's what I respect about the guys that are still doing it today, whether it be Chris Jericho, but Matt Hardy in particular. And then the bar scene with Hangman Page and the whole angle of what they're trying to do. And you see that Matt Hardy's with Private Party. And again, big party Matt Hardy, the agent, so to speak. And then, of course, Dark Order has to come in, and they're a part of the vignette. But I like where they're going with Matt Hardy. And can you imagine if there was a live crowd? I don't care if it's 500 people, 5,000, or 15,000. Delete. I just think he would be so much over. And I give him a lot of respect and props. And I want to start off with that when I talk about AEW Dynamite. Because Matt Hardy, I had a chance to work personal security on the same venues and same shows along with John Cena and Chuck Wepner. So those were some nights I'll never forget, and being able to pick his brain. Never worked with him in the ring, but to see what he's transformed into then when he was this young, handsome guy, and now with the Hardy Boys, and then to see all the different things. I respect what Matt Hardy has done and what he continues to do in this business. I did like the Sammy Guevara MJF promo. Okay, Sammy thinks that MJF is trying to take over the inner circle. I like where that's going. Guevara's another guy who's going to be a star, and that's what I keep saying. AEW is making stars. I don't believe the WWE or NXT maybe. I'll give them credit, and we're going to get onto that. They're making stars. AEW is making stars, and I don't care whether you talk about Orange Cassidy, or we have said the list on previous shows here before show number 34, whether it be what they're doing with Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy. I like what they're doing with Pac, and now Sammy Guevara getting the rub from a guy who's a young star himself, and MJF. Where is it going to go? Is MJF is going to turn Sammy and Jericho? I mean, we know that it's been a little goofy, the inner circle. I'm still trying to figure out why they formed together to begin with, and the whole Vegas vignette and the Frank Sinatra thing, and then tagging against each other to see who's with each other, and the Wardlow Jake Hager. Where are we going with the whole inner circle and MJF and Wardlow? Very confusing. You have to really pay attention with what they're doing with their storylines. I also want to talk about Archer, Moxley, and the Good Brothers, okay, who ended up interfering, but Archer and Moxley against Kenta and Omega. The world is abuzz. I talked about it on the Wrestling Council. All the guys over there, Boogie Bob and Yule and Comic Book Bob, Boogie Bentley. I don't know why I said Boogie Bob, but you know what Bully Ray said to me 20 years ago, and the videos have been put up recently. They're on YouTube. Give the Guardian of Chaos 7 spots, and he'll fuck up 6 of them. But we talked about it on the council with Boogie Bentley and Yule and Comic Book Bob and Hollywood and Jill and all the guys and gals over there. And we talked about NJPW, IWGP. You like how I put those together? And now that Kenta is there, what is it going to lead to? We talked about it briefly when I went off on 33 and didn't even talk about wrestling, but we talked about that night on AEW Dynamite of 4 companies being represented at one time. You know, NWA and Impact and New Japan and AEW. So that could be the future moving forward. You know, they have the promo of Omega golfing, and you see when he comes out as the cleaner and where they're going with him, the whole association with Don Callis. It definitely gave a bump to Impact, but it's calmed down, it's settled down. The Good Brothers have interfered. There's just a lot of different things that are also going on there. So I like that everyone's getting together. They're bringing in star power. I know the whole inner circle. I know the whole Bullet Club. I know what they're trying to do with Omega and everybody. I just want to see where it's coming from. If you have any ideas, and have a Callus on commentary, and to have these big names, which I think when you put them all together in a tag team match, I think it's wasted. Omega ends up hitting a one-wing angel on Archer. Now, listen, we know Archer's a big man, and he's getting the rub from Jake the Snake, and I told you how much I like that. The Good Brothers had to come out and help Omega hit the one-wing angel on Archer, and I just think Archer could be the guy, in my opinion, if he used him the right way, to be the monster from Japan that he was, and really turning him into something that could dominate that company. With Jake on his side, I'm not bitching, I'm not complaining about the product, but you're putting Kenta and Omega together, and you're putting Archer and Moxley together. I'm just not sure where you're going with that talent, and it could be used better in different storylines. I'm not questioning. I already mentioned Pac. He looks tremendous. He's got the look. He's got the testicular fortitude, and if he's not a guy that walks it, talks it, and lives it, and I'm glad that he's back. And he went over and he submitted Ryan Nemeth with the Brutalizer. Again, I like Pac. Not a monster of a man, but just look at the look of him and the way he's in shape and the different moves that he can perform. WWE dropped the ball when they let him go. Different things that we talked about post-show and that I wanted to mention on here of the different things that I covered from AEW Dynamite, and what I noticed as you know, they have double screen, split screen, the whole 9 yards. So Pac looks tremendous. So you're going to throw me a halls then? You know there's no edit button. It's unscripted. Well, how many times do I got to say it? Excuse me. Listen, there's still probably 2 feet of snow out there besides the 16 feet being below the bunker. It's still probably 2 feet of snow out there. I bet you it's in the 20s. We are in, the northeast corridor, the frozen tundra right now, if you will. Can't wait for baseball season. Back on to what I was talking about, Pac. I could see it. I understand. I had talked episodes before about the whole Eddie Kingston and Pac thing, but Pac should be pushed, and should be pushed quickly. Or maybe there's no rush, but he's tremendous. What an athlete. It's a 5-tool athlete. My opinion, maybe one of the best in AEW. We go to MJF and Jericho against Acclaim. Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Again, Caster reminds me of what John Cena was back in 03, 04. I'll give him credit, give him respect. I even knew him as producer on Scotty Wetzel's Opposite Picks on Sirius XM Nightcap, and now he's on Sports Grid and back on Sirius XM Channel 204. So it's nice that Max Caster went from being a wrestling student and producer on a big time radio show to now being and getting a big shot and doing very well as the Acclaimed and getting a shot with MJF and Jericho. It really was something. I'll give Max Caster a lot of credit, and they look like they have a bright future, and the internet has really taken to these two guys. So Jericho ends up hitting the Judas effect on Caster. I really thought it was a decent match overall. And again, I can't speak highly enough about the claimed and what the people have jumped on right there. MJF and Jericho are solid. I eluded, besides reluded, earlier to Sammy and MJF and what's going to happen in the inner circle and what's going on with all that stuff. So it makes me think about that. But that was the bottom line on AEW Dynamite for that. I know I'm briefly and quickly running through here because I want to get everything in. It's nice to be down here in the bunker. The Nightmare Family, Cody Rhodes, Lee Johnson, go up against Peter Avalon and Cesar Bonini. I'd like to see everybody getting a shot and getting a chance, whether it's AEW Dark, different organizations. Yeah, you notice tonight that I'm not really talking about MLW of Ring of Honor. That's another two groups that I want to get onto. And hopefully we can put everything in here on this show number 34. So it's nice to see different people getting a shot. The bottom line is, listen, Lee Johnson is one of the students down there, probably where Ray Lloyd is, or where the Nightmare Factory is, where Dustin's training everyone. But Cody and Lee Johnson go over. Johnson pins Avalon. You know that Cody and Avalon have this thing going on, and storyline that's been going on for weeks. So there's the tie-in on that. You get the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers. They also, a lot of promos last night, a lot of different vignettes, whether it be Big Party Matt Hardy and Hangman Page with the Dark Order and that bar scene, which I enjoyed, or Sammy and MJF. You also have the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers. And what the good thing about it is what's leading into next week. And I've been talking about them for weeks on here. If you go back to previous shows, Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful. JD talks about them all the time from when they were in House of Glory. And of course, when they were in LAX and under Conan's tutelage and with Homicide and Eddie Kingston and everyone. So it's nice to see, and who knows where it's going to go forward with that. So you see the Young Bucks, the current tag team champions, the Good Brothers, the Impact champions. It's nice that everyone's merging, everyone's excited about it, throwing New Japan, and that ought to be a hell of a match against Proud and Powerful next week. I'm really looking forward to that. The Good Brothers against Proud and Powerful. It's what I'm talking about. I love tag team wrestling. That was my thing as a manager. That's what I really enjoyed. Multi-tag team champions throughout different regions. So I'm looking forward to that. Another match surprisingly stepped up his game. A lot of people talk shit. He doesn't really look it, and I know he's PWG and GCW and all that. But Darby Allin and Joey Janela, again, who knows where these guys are going to be in 5 years or 10 years. You talk about longevity, suicide dives. Darby does one onto the barricade. Janela catches Darby midair and hits an unbelievable belly. The different maneuvers, it was very hard hitting. Darby in the end hits the coffin drop, and I got to say from the angle for the pin, and just to take that, that how long can these guys go? I say it whether it's no matter what platform I've been on national, international, regular, the bunker, whatever it's in TV, national TV, and I say the same thing wherever I go. Where is the longevity, the high risks, the maneuvers? I'm not quite understanding. I understand the pop. I understand what everyone's trying to do, but it's so dangerous. And the coffin drop, I'll give it credit. It looked unbelievable. And again, I saw these guys, whether it be Keith Lee, Darby Allin, all the different guys from Evolve, when they teamed up a few years back, when it was Evolve 95, which was the Paradise Alley Evolve 95 Super Show. It's out there on YouTube. You can see all the guys were hungry, and every one of them from there have gone on to AEW or NXT. So it's the hunger, and I understand it, but I don't know. It was a solid match. I'm going to say that about Darby and Janela. A lot of no sells there. You're hitting all your moves. Again, I say it all the time. I'll say their moves, although they're regular moves, whether it be the code red from the top rope, no sold a pile driver in the Janela Darby Allin match. And when is a move a move? When is a finish going to be a finish? When is enough going to be enough? And I know that I sound like Jim Cornette or someone. They're much better looking. I get it. You had Team Taz on there last night too. Before we're 30 minutes in here, covering AEW Dynamite to begin with here on show number 34 from the bunker. Your old buddy, the G.O.C. Yes, I threw that in there again. Shivani and Sting again. I'm not understanding how Hobbs and Starks and Cage and Taz, Team Taz, is supposed to be afraid of even though he's a legend, a great guy, can still kick ass of Sting with a baseball bat, and a guy that weighs 150 pounds, although a reckless, crazy guy. I get it. Wants to be on Johnny Knoxville, Jackass. I get it. So who knows where this is going to lead? They better get some reinforcements. The bottom line is a crazy story that I've seen in other groups before, but it's keeping the fans coming back. It's emotional investment. It's psychology. It's storytelling, which is why it's different than the WWE product. And they Team Taz put Darby in a body bag, and they tied him to the car. And again, kind of on the edge, makes you come back. The different things that are going on in the storylines, and again, very fast paced all over the place with AEW Dynamite. And again, if you watch Dark on Tuesdays, and then AEW has a huge event coming up in next month. Those are the different things that I wanted to really throw out there from the rip, besides the sponsors and getting out this, something that just happened last night, so I can get this out there. And a lot of different things all over the place. Leave a comment. Give me your in-depth of what you're thinking and what you want to hear, and just to hear your feedback will be something I'll be interested to see, that we can discuss it on the next show. Yeah, so pretty crazy AEW Dynamite and what they're doing again. Year and a half in. Second show coming up probably pretty soon besides AEW Dark. It's going to be interesting to see. Speaking of second shows, we're going to get onto that. A little over 30 minutes in here. Fans, thanks for being here. Thanks for not heckling. Dead air. I was taught never to have dead air, but again, we're trying out the sound system. Going to be upgrading. A lot of different things going on. Let's bounce right into, and I usually don't really cover it, but I'm just going to quickly run through it. A little less in depth than AEW, but last night, because NXT this weekend is TakeOver, it's Vengeance. So last night, of course, the Dusty Cup semifinals for the Dusty Classic. Again, I enjoy the concept. So there's a lot going into TakeOver this weekend, and I know a lot of fans, including myself, are going to be interested in TakeOver as they bring back the product with a lot of young stars. A lot of people have been talking about NXT being the lowest ratings. The product has changed. They're not paying attention to it. Regal, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, whoever, and that they really let the product slide. I've been saying it for the last bunch of episodes. I'm going to say it now, and you guys hear me loud in the background. I'll say it for the people in the back. NXT, as far as an in-ring product, unbelievable. And I predicted it with Damian Priest going up to the roster and being there for the Rumble. I said it. I called it. Who knows what it's worth and where it goes from here. So, of course, MSK and Legado del Fantasma last night to see who goes into the finals for TakeOver for the Dusty Rhodes Classic, for the Dusty Cup. MSK, obviously, Wesley, Nash Carter. I always have to redo my homework there. Raul Mendoza, Joaquin Wilde from Legado del Fantasma. A quick pinfall, so it's nice to see MSK. I know they have a lot of fans out there. They hit the spine buster, blockbuster, as Wesley pinned Joaquin Wilde. So there needs to be a few more tag teams. These guys are definitely qualified, well-versed in their craft and their tactics. And NXT has a lot of unbelievable young talent and stars, and who knows when, if they'll make it to the main roster. But what are you doing to make stars? So MSK goes on to the finals, which will be at Takeover this Sunday on pay-per-view for NXT Takeover. Xia Li has the social media world abuzz with, if I get this right, with Boa and Tian Xiao, two monsters. I get it. Going up against Cora Jade, Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter, both interrupt. I know a decent amount about Casey, but and Caden, but again on the back burner. They're not really making stars. They're not household names. Although Xia Li will be a household name. The bottom line is, with the two guys, Boa and Tian Xiao, and the different things that they're trying to work with the product and having so many different run-ins. I'm not a fan of it, whether it be AEW, NXT. The bottom line is they're going to really push Xia Li. She goes over on Cora Jade. That's what you have set up coming out of NXT last night. In the semifinals for the ladies' Dusty Classic, everyone's baby, Shotzi Blackheart, teaming up with a lady who I think's got an unbelievable future. Too bad she was injured last year. Shotzi and Ember Moon go over on Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Again, an unbelievable female roster down there at NXT. Unbelievable female grapplers in general in the world, even no matter what roster you're looking at, whether it be Impact, Raw, SmackDown, throw in AEW. A lot of great, unbelievable female grapplers. Now, because Shotzi and Ember went over, this is going to be at NXT TakeOver for the finals. We're going to run over the card for TakeOver this weekend. Now, they'll face Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Again, I sang their praises the last couple of episodes. That's going to be in the finals for the Dusty Classic. So that's where we're going with the different things that came out of NXT last night, leading into TakeOver this weekend. A lot of people are going to be reviewing it. Kushida went over by DQ on Austin Theory with Gargano. We knew it. Everyone's been saying it. It's been bandied about in the IWC. A lot of people have been talking about it. Gargano, it was a work. I told you guys that. Gargano wasn't injured. What are you talking about? You're paying attention. I know that you are. I get it. So Dexter Loomis popped up out from under the ring, pulls Theory down under the ring. This reminds me of all the different gimmicks you've seen with that, whether it been the Big Show, Kane, The Fiend, Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster, different people that have done this gimmick before. I like it. It's okay. But we talked about Gargano. I just wanted to bring that up. So Kushida goes over on Austin Theory, which leads into a bunch of different things coming up on NXT TakeOver, which we're going to talk about. That's what that happened last night on NXT. Zach Gibson and James Drake. A lot of people like the grizzled young veterans. I guess I can understand why. Not overly charismatic. They have a lot going on for them. Solid. Again, the product is solid. Hey, listen, talking about Gargano, Austin Theory, Kushida, it doesn't get much more solid than that. We're going to talk about Ciampa. It doesn't get much more solid than that. The different guys there. And again, perhaps the biggest star and a guy that I see to be the future, as good as Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and all the rest in WWE. And that would be one Karrion Kross. It's coming. Wait, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Stay healthy, and Karrion Kross is going to carry the WWE past 2022. Mark my words. Thatcher and Ciampa against the grizzled young veterans. Hey, listen, shocked and stunned at this, but I understand the push. A lot of people forewarned me. A lot of people did tell me. I'll give those credit. You know who you are. Who told me about the GYV, and that's the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're going to face MSK in the Dusty Classic. I talked about it earlier. That's going to be the finals at NXT TakeOver. I am stunned that they hit the widow's bell on Ciampa. I am shocked that Thatcher and Ciampa, I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. I'm beside myself. All the NXT review shows that are out there, especially a work in progress, AWIP. You know you guys have an unbelievable NXT weekly show. I am stunned that Thatcher and Ciampa lost to the grizzled young veterans, but different people have called it. So the finals for the Dusty Cup, again, I love the concept, and that's coming up on TakeOver. It's going to be Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon against Dakota Ray. Dakota Ray, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. And it's going to be the grizzled young veterans against MSK. Uh, you know, it's going to be decent for TakeOver. It's not going to be a typical big, large pay-per-view. It's not going to be what it was. As far as NXT goes, it may be the most solid in-ring, but as far as preference of what I watch Impact and MLW and Ring of Honor as much as I watch NXT. There's no two ways about it. My top shows are AEW Dynamite is my number one show. Second after that, I guess, would have to be different organizations from MLW to Impact, and I throw in SmackDown there, and Raw's near the bottom. I mean, that's just my rankings of different orders of different things that I watch. Those are the different things that came out of NXT as we're 40 minutes in here and cover different things. I appreciate you being here on show 34, live to tape, same day coverage. We already talked about AEW Dynamite. We talked about NXT. We're going to talk about TakeOver. We might as well just run into that right now since we just finished NXT from last night. This is what's going on for NXT TakeOver this weekend. Here we are on a Thursday. This will be up by tonight. You're going to have a couple of days to let it sink in. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, retweet, share, do whatever it is that you do. Leave a comment. Send me an email at chaosbigdaddy, the number 2 at yahoo.com. That's right. Chaos Big Daddy, the number 2 at yahoo.com, or go to any one of my social media platforms and DM me or inbox me. But this is NXT TakeOver, okay? The finals of the Dusty Classic, we just talked about it, the grizzled young veterans against MSK, and the winner will go on to face the NXT Tag Team Champions, and that's Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. So that's going to be an unbelievable tag team bout for the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. The GYV versus the MSK to eventually take on the NXT champions, Lorcan and Burch. Also, for the NXT title, this is one that everybody's been talking about. The champion Finn Balor defends against one of the guys that I think is a 4 and 5 tool grappler, and that would be one Pete Dunne. That's at TakeOver this weekend. What an unbelievable bout for the NXT title. Finn Balor has really flourished since he left the main roster. You guys noticed this. I know you've listened to it. Finn Balor has flourished since he left the main roster of Raw and SmackDown. NXT title, he defends it this Sunday at TakeOver against Pete Dunne. Here's another one with, again, we called it. Certain people talked about it. Certain people didn't realize it was work. The North American title, Johnny Gargano. Yeah, what an unbelievable talent, Gargano, especially from the Northeast Corridor. Gargano defends against one of the most unbelievable international grapplers here in North America right now, and that's Kushida. I really am interested in this match, and my prediction is Kushida comes out as the North American title. You heard it here first. Another woman who has taken the United States by storm, and especially NXT. And man, you talk about Jordan Grace being thick mama pump. For me, it'll be Toni Storm all day. Toni Storm goes up against the NXT champion, and one hell of a grappler too from the Pac Rim, and what an impact she's had here in NXT and in North America. And that would be the champion Io Shirai against a lady that should have been here 10 years ago with 20 years in the business, and that would be one Mercedes Martinez, one tough Boricuat, unbelievable Mercedes Martinez. What a triple threat match that's going to be for the NXT ladies title. That's right. Who I say thicker mama pump in Toni Storm. Mercedes Martinez, and I remember her as a young lady. I saw the talent then. Congratulations. And against NXT champion Io Shirai. My prediction again, you're being biased, at 43 minutes in. My prediction is I don't see Io Shirai defending the title either way. I'm going to go with Mercedes, and if she doesn't win, I'm going to go with Toni Storm. Either way, I won't be disappointed, but I'm leaning towards Mercedes Martinez. I would love to see that. She's earned it. She's a veteran. Also, we understand, we already talked about it a few minutes earlier here in Chaos Corner, show number 34. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez take on Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon in the finals of the Dusty Classic for the ladies. Now you're going to understand and the connection here that the winner of the finals in that match between Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez against Shotzi and Ember Moon, they get a future shot, if they're still champions, against Shayna Baszler, the legit bitch from MMA, and her partner's Hole. Yeah, her Hole. Nia Jax. Nia Jax's Hole. You see what I did right there, right? You guys, if you're paying attention, see, I'm paying attention, man. Come on. Cut me some slack. So that's what you have for NXT TakeOver. Let's see what the pay-per-view rates are. We'll be interested to see. That's what I definitely wanted to talk about. So we got that out of the way. Thank the Lord. Show number 34, live to tape, same-day coverage here down at the bunker. I'll say that to say this. You get the whole gist from there. All social media platforms, the sponsors. We talked about Wrestling With Anything But. We are 45 minutes here. We're going to move on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, which is Impact. I told you the show is packed full of information on this show. Impact Wrestling here came across my timeline. They have a new 1 hour show that's before the flagship of Impact Wrestling, and it's going to be called BTI, Before the Impact. That will debut this Tuesday as a lead-in, as I said, to Impact Wrestling. Now, it's a pre-game show, sort of. It's going to be on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I don't think on YouTube. I believe still on their channels of Twitch and Twitch Extra. That's what hurts the product, in my opinion. You wonder why you don't get ratings. Don Callis, Scott D'Amore, Dreamer, all the different guys over there that have influence. Josh Matthews obviously will be a huge part of it, which he is with his wife, Madison Rayne. John Barton, an announcer out of Nashville, quite the legend, will also be involved. A young lady by the name of Gia Miller, who I don't know well, will be their backstage personnel. And the Iceman's Intel with George Iceman. A guy I have to do some research on, but that will be your lineup for the new show at Impact. You see how the shows are branding and expanding, and now Impact has its own show and second show. But again, it's not going to get any ratings unless you put it on YouTube at live like AEW Dark does or MLW does with Fusion or different things like that. That's just my opinion. But that's the news coming out of that. And also this weekend, the show is full of information this weekend. No Surrender for Impact. You're not going to want to miss it. I just got finished talking about NXT TakeOver. That's on Sunday. Well, a prelude into that is Impact, and you know the AEW implications. No Surrenders this week. I'm going to briefly run through this. You have the triple threat revolver match, which will be unbelievable. You're not going to see anything like it. You could see shades of TNA and the Impact they have here on Impact. So this is this Saturday. I'll be watching them both. Daivari, Suicide, Willie Mack, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, Josh Alexander, and Blake Christian. Now, there will be 3 different of those grapplers that will start the match. When one is pinned or submitted, another grappler enters until they're all entered, and now the winner will get a shot at the X Division title. That's if I've gotten it right and broken it down. That's the triple threat revolver match this Saturday at No Surrender. Let me say it again. 3 guys are going to start the match. When one's pinned or submitted, another grappler enters, so on and so forth, and the winner eventually gets a shot at the legendary X Division title. Daivari, Suicide, the Chocolate Juggalo Willie Mack, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, Josh Alexander, and Blake Christian. What a group of young athletes, and especially Willie Mack, Chris Bay, both competed for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Also, returning is the Super Max, unbelievable former member of LAX. Hernandez teams up with the most professional wrestler, formerly of the WWE, Mr. Brian Myers, and they take on Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder. Now, remember, in the WWE, you fans know this, I'm alluding to it again, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers are good buddies. They were tag team partners. They have their own memorabilia show. They have their own podcast with over 1 million subscribers. I've talked about this on the last show, probably show 32, maybe 31. So this ought to be interesting. And of course, the local connections here with Eddie Edwards. Edwards and Cardona take on the Super Mex returning. Wepa is all I could say. Super Mex is unbelievable. And Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler. So that's going to be at No Surrender. Also, the ladies champion, the Impact ladies champion, and the former Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling ladies champion, Deonna Purrazzo, teams up with Kimberly and Susan, a.k.a. Su Yang, to take on Thick Mama Pump. We already talked about my preference for Toni Storm. But Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace, the legend, Jazz herself. That's right, Jazz. And of course, ODB is back. Oh, we'll buy something off her cart outside. We'll be outside the arena. Maybe you can get a hot dog or a pretzel. Throw a little mustard on it. Maybe get a Diet Coke or a water, a bag of chips. So ODB, Jazz, and Jordan Grace take on the Impact champion Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and the former Su Yung, who is now Susan. And then the no DQ Texas Tornado for the ladies tag team titles. Fire and flavor. That's right, I said it. Fire and flavor. Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz take on Havoc and Nevia. Now, you know the whole rematch from the TV shows on Impact and on Impact Plus and on Twitch. This will be one hell of a... Listen, it's a no-brainer. To me, I'd get it to Texas Tornado, no DQ. Fire and Flavor will not be losing these titles anytime soon. And it's not going to be against Havoc and Nevia. No offense against them. They're great grapplers. Another big match set for this weekend at No Surrender. This will be for the X Division title, which I alluded to earlier in the triple threat revolver match. Raju against TJP. What an unbelievable match. Now, will TJP be his alter ego Manic? If you're paying attention. Manic is right. You know that I'm right. So is TJP going to be Manic? Either way, it's for the X Division title. Now, I'm assuming the former Desi Hit Squad guys, definitely Shira, will be in the corner of Rahut Raju. So the X Division has got a lot of great grapplers. Not my cup of tea, but unbelievable grapplers. So that'll be at No Surrender. Also, here's another big one, the triple threat tag team title match that I alluded to earlier when I talked about AEW Dynamite. Chris Sabin and James Storm. I'm sorry about your damn luck. Take on Big Party, Matt Hardy, and Private Party, who take on the tag team champions who you've seen everywhere. Especially on AEW, although they're the Impact Tag Team Champions, and that would be Gallows and Anders, the Good Brothers. And speaking of them, rumor has it, came across my timeline, different dirt sheets, people I listen to or follow. I get my own sources. I have so many sources, I have to outsource my sources. They did so many different motions, a la like this, and like they were masturbating or whatever, jacking up, whatever you want to go, jack off, I don't know, like they used to say in different movies. That they had to really edit it because they were doing a lot of sexual implications towards their former employers, I guess. And I don't know, a little over the line there by the Good Brothers, but that's just something that was heavily edited. All the boys were talking about it backstage. This is the different people I have, and I usually have boots on the ground, you know that. But unbelievable. Chris Sabin, another guy I've been fortunate enough to see in live events and be in different locker rooms together and pick his brain against James Storm, truly a legend. Matt Hardy and Private Party. Private Party is entertainment personified. And then, of course, I am fans of the Good Brothers. So that's a triple threat tag team match, which will be this weekend at No Surrender. And then, of course, the big one, 50-year-old Tommy Dreamer from Busted Open, who's literally Singapored and kendo sticked and caned my ass at least on a couple of occasions 18, 20 years ago, will be taking on the Impact champion and Rich Swann. Now, I know there's no way they're going to let Dreamer win, although that would be nice. And if you heard it here first. Let Dreamer win it. And then if you want to have somebody come in and, I don't know, like a 24/7 gimmick or at the next Impact tapings or the next pay-per-view, Dreamer deserves it. Give him the title. Rich Swann's a young guy. He's not going anywhere. Unbelievable talent. That would be nice to see. Dreamer gives everybody the rub. Truly a genius. I would like to see that. So that's what you have for the lineup this weekend. And again, also, this will probably be a little more towards the undercard. Diener and his former brother, Jake Diener, Jake something, the family affair, they'll be taking on each other. And of course, you know that means Big Joe Doring and a guy who's a sleeper in talent and impact, EY, the former champion. Let's see what happens. You know, the EY tried to set him up to join Violent by Design. And I realize I just got finished talking about the big events, but this is also another huge story leading to different talent that Impact has, which I'm impressed by. So, Diener and Jake something. The Diener's a family affair here. Jake Doring, Big Joe Doring will be there. EY, Violent by Design. So we'll see where that goes. Also, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. That's right. My boys, Triple XL, Larry D, and Big AC Romero, Mobile, Hostile, Agile, Nimbile. They're in a 6-person tag, teaming up with very easy on the eyes, Tennille Dashwood. And they're taking on Decay, which we know is Rosemary, who's one hell of a talent. The gimmick, I don't know. You got Abaddon and AEW. You've had Sue Young. You've had Daphne in the past, and Rosemary, I get, is a legend, and she's lucky to be back from injury. And she's teaming up with from AAA Black Taurus, and I'm not sure of their other partner, but is this necessary? It'll be entertaining because of Triple XL, and you know Tennille's easy on the eyes, and Rosemary's a legend, but that's also on No Surrender. So you literally have for No Surrender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 or 9 matches, 10 matches. So this weekend, as we're coming up on 55 minutes, it's going to be unbelievable. You have NXT TakeOver on Sunday. It's going to be an unbelievable event if you want pure grappling. You have No Surrender on Saturday for Impact. It's going to be really something. Go back and check out last night's AEW Dynamite, where they are personally and where their ratings are, drawing damn near 1 million people every Wednesday night. The second show coming up for Impact, I didn't even get to touch on MLW or Ring of Honor, which are throwing out unbelievable products, especially MLW, what's going on over there. I don't want to get too crazy and make the show too intense because I still want to have a few things to cover. Unbelievable news. So, show number 34, let me make sure that I get everything out to the fans accurate. If you're not going to do it, then don't bother. Here's what I have as we come up as almost an hour, and I hope you stayed here because this is locally, this in the historic shadows of the WWE, right down the street from 95 in the historical Greater New Haven area, the traditional territory of World Wrestling Federation, the Paradise Four. We know who they are. Pretty Paul Roma, Big Dave Paradise, Paul Perez, and Mario Mancini. They present on iPay-per-view this Saturday at 7 o'clock for only $4.99. Less than $5, less than this. This weekend, you're not going to want to miss it. Under the radar, they're coming off Under Pressure, which was a highly successful first debut in 2021. This one is Under the Radar this Saturday from the PAPW training facility down at Paradise Alley. What you're going to see, again, less than $5 on iPay-per-view. Go to ParadiseAlleyProWrestling.com. And how come nobody told me? Wait. Go to ParadiseAlleyProWrestling.com, fans, and order the pay-per-view. Here's what you have lined up. The Alley Fights champion and that would be Dustin Flash Waller takes on the savvy veteran, the Red Lion, Chris Battle. That will be unbelievable and worth the price of admission alone. The United States heavyweight champion, that son of a bitch from the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, and that would be Zafir Al-Rahihi. That's right, the United States champion, Zafir, tomato, whatever you want to say, Zafar Al-Rahihi defends the title against the former champion, the American Gothic gone wrong, or the American Nightmare Gothic gone wrong, the former champion, Buzz Bloodsaw. This is a match that's the United States against Saudi Arabia. If this doesn't bring you together, this will be at Under the Radar this Saturday. A special grudge match. Sean and Jay the Haven, the former Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, take on the Prince of Sands, Aladdin, and his partner, Aladdin Ding, the Pyramids of Power. Now, I'm sure that son of a bitch, Abdul Hafu, will be at ringside. This has been a rivalry for the last 2 years in PAPW like you've never seen. The former champions, the Haven, are part of the future of pro wrestling, the future four, as I like to call them, and we know who they are. Sean and Jay Haven, Dustin Flash Waller, and Kylon King, who will be at Under the Radar. Also, I think he's still on Rumspringer. I don't know. Did he go out to the Bunny Ranch for a second time? He's still on Rumspringer, and that would be Zach Gibbs will be at Under the Radar, an iPay-per-view this weekend. Also appearing will be Troy Stevens. I'm hearing that the Intercontinental Champion, the New England Beast, in the best shape of his life, Bull Dread, will be at Under the Radar. That's what I'm hearing. Fans, don't quote me. Also, Kylon King, as I mentioned, is part of the future, the Fearless Four of PAPW. And of course, I'm sure lurking in the shadows is the leader of the Tri-State Kings, Showtime Marcel Williams, and the three-time Paradise Alley Tag Team Champions, the House of Pain. And the big news that just came across my timeline is the big man, the monster, the near 400-pound Vlad, who's in the best shape of his life, I heard. Perhaps one of the toughest big men in the circuit. The current Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion will be at Under the Radar to give the State of the Union address, not only at Paradise Alley, but in regards to the heavyweight championship at PAPW. You're not going to want to miss it. And of course, with Paul Roma as head booker and head trainer, there's always going to be a storyline that you're not going to want to miss. So this is what we have this weekend. Not only Saturday, you have No Surrender with Impact. It's going to be an unbelievable card. You have Sunday, NXT TakeOver. And of course, you have Alley Fights, Under the Radar, this Saturday night on iPay-per-view. Again, less than this, less than $5. You're going to want to see what Vlad has to say. That's what we have going on. So we're a little over an hour in. I believe I covered everything I wanted to. We opened up with rumors, speculation, innuendo, thanking those who have been great to me, talking about the unbelievable platform of Avi Klein and WWAB, Wrestling With Anything But. We went on into AEW Dynamite and what happened last night there, and also NXT leading into this Sunday night's pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver Vengeance. We also talked about Impact Wrestling and what's happening going into Full Surrender this Saturday. That's right, Full Surrender this Saturday. And then, of course, we just wrapped it up right there with PAPWI pay-per-view Under the Radar with the Paradise 4 right here in the Constitution State with Hey, let's face it, four guys that worked for the guidance of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Pretty Paul Roma, Mario Mancini, Paul Perez, and Big Dave Paradise. So I'm going to say that to say this. As we're here for show number 34, same day coverage, live to tape here on a Thursday. This will get up for you to consume not only tonight, well, actually, not only this afternoon and tonight, but then all day Friday as you head into your weekend and get off to a work week. Tampa Bay just got to finish winning the Super Bowl over Kansas City, which I predicted. Tom Brady in his 10th Super Bowl and 7 victories. Although I'm a Dolphins fan, the NFL is what it is. I'm looking forward to baseball. The New York Mets, hopefully, as long as they keep politics and social justice issues out of it, I'll watch it. And maybe even some NHL, and hopefully maybe the fans will come back. Who knows what's happening with all that? But thank you for being here. Let me not get off this the subject here of show number 34. It's me, the G.O.C. Your old buddy. Follow me on all social media platforms. I'll say that to say this. Don't you dare miss it. Wait. Why is everybody running out of here? Why so fast? Can we shut off the lights and everybody hold on? Listen, I'm buying. Isn't that usually how it is? I'm buying. You know that I'm buying, right? Here at Chaos Corner, the bunker, I'm buying. Thanks for being here, show number 34. They're all running out of here. They're trying to shut off the lights. I don't know what's going on. Don't you dare miss it, please. I'll say that to say this.